Did you know the ABC Islands are three hidden gems of the Caribbean? The ABC Islands are made up of Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Welcome to our exploration of the amazing ABC Islands filled with stunning beaches, Dutch influence, snorkeling, diving, unique culture, and undisturbed beauty. Hi y'all, I'm Jeff, and with my wife Becky, we're cruising a good time. Becky's unable to appear on this video because of a recent automobile accident we had. However, we have our youngest daughter Jennifer to help us guest star on this one and bring all her experience about the ABC Islands. Thanks a lot, Jennifer.
Hi y'all, I'm very happy to be here and I'm happy to help out.
Many travelers overlook the ABC Islands in favor of the more popular Caribbean islands on the northern part of the Caribbean that are much closer to the United States. However, they're really missing out on some great beaches, wonderful culture, and in my opinion, some great food. Stick around to the end of the video, and Jennifer and I will tell you our favorite ABC Islands and let you know what we think are the best things to do there.
Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao are far south and westward Lesser Antilles. They make up the very southern parts of the Caribbean. Curacao is about 40 miles north of Venezuela and lies at 12 degrees latitude. Overall, they are way out of the way of the average tourist, so the coral there is tremendous. And there's three reasons the coral is tremendous. The first one is hurricanes and major storms tend to go further north than those islands, leaving the coral untouched by those storms. The second reason is they're relatively flat in elevation. So when it rains, there's a lot less silt that gets into the water, and there's a lot less mixing of the fresh water and salt water, creating that cloudiness. So the visibility is excellent around those islands. And lastly, they are far less traveled than some of their northern counterparts. So they get a lot less people on that coral, and so the coral remains in high quality. It is a tremendous place to dive and snorkel. It is a wonderful experience.
Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, combined with St. Martin, are what's called the Dutch Caribbean. They have a very strong relationship back with the Netherlands and various degrees of dependency and relationship with the Dutch government. We're not going to get into all that right now, but they do have that great Dutch influence that you can see on all the architecture, and you hear a lot of Dutch spoken. In fact, Bonaire, about 60 or 70% of the population have Dutch citizenship back in the Netherlands. What's really neat about them is, as Jennifer mentioned, their proximity to South America and their heritage. They have a very strong Dutch, African, indigenous, and Spanish cultures and influences in all this, and you can see it in everyday life. You can hear it in some of the language. And the food, as I mentioned a while ago, is just outstanding. Some of the best goat stew I've ever had, yes, goat stew, and it is great, was on Bonaire. Loved it, and I've never had a bad dish on any of those three islands.
Aruba is our first stop on this island tour. Aruba definitely has that famous Dutch architecture you can see and Dutch culture within it. And it also has some wonderful beaches. The two most famous beaches are Eagle Beach and Palm Beach. These are often ranked in some of the world's best beaches. There's also several rocky outcrops to look at, and as well as some famous arches. There was a very big arch that collapsed in 2005, leaving a lesser arch behind, but it is a wonderful place to drive and look at some great geology.
One neat thing about diving right there and snorkeling is the wreck of the Antilla. It was a German ship that was scuttled off the coast of Aruba in 1940 during World War II, and the corals built up on it. It's magnificent, and it's shallow enough that it's real easy snorkel and a good dive as well.
Aruba also has a fantastic nightlife. Plenty of restaurants, bars, and dancing to be had. They now have a casino, and you can go and have some fun and spend some money at the casino as well.
When Becky and I were there a number of years ago on a cruise ship, we just rented a car and drove around the island. We swam in several different beaches, took in some of the local restaurants right there whenever we got hungry, saw the arches. It was just a lot of fun just to go drive around. It's a small island. It's impossible to get lost on.
Around the island, there are also various farms you can go visit. You can go to an aloe farm and see where they harvest aloe vera plants. They also have a butterfly farm and an ostrich farm. So plenty of fun there to be had if you want to have some.
Our next stop on the ABC Islands is Bonaire. Bonaire is all about diving and snorkeling. Every diver I know has loved it, and they'd love to go back to diving. In fact, Bonaire is ranked number one by us in our video on the best places to go snorkeling in the Caribbean. We'll have a link in the description below.
Klein Bonaire is an uninhabited island just off the coast of Bonaire. In between Klein and the mainland is an inlet. That inlet offers a beautiful drift current. It makes for wonderful snorkeling and diving there. You sit there, and as you're slowly drifted by the current, it offers the coral to just come by you like a movie. A wonderful time to see the sea life and coral that way.
That is a very enjoyable way to see the coral and drift dive like that. I really enjoyed that when we did that.
Oh, it's wonderful coral. And, you go through once, and then whenever you get dropped off again and go through again, the animals have changed, and it's still a great time the second time through. Bonaire is the least visited of Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, so it offers the least touched coral as well. The last time we went to Bonaire, we did that Klein drift dive, and we had a wonderful time. When we are taking our boat there from the cruise ship, we saw a ton of flying fish. They were leaping out of the water, and those things, they really do fly. They go about 30 feet at once.
Yeah. They're a lot of fun to watch as you kind of skid out from the bow right there. The first time you see them, it's really amazing.
Oh, it's awesome.
Food-wise in Bonaire, it's absolutely great. You have the influence of the European, the African, and the Spanish influences all right there. Really great food. The best goat stew I've ever had was right there in Bonaire. We just walked off the ship there, walking right through the town, found some restaurants. It looked great, gave it a try, and it's just extraordinary. So I do recommend that. Not only that, but all the food we had in Bonaire is just a lot of fun. It's a very laid-back environment, just a lot of fun just to take it in and just chill out there.
And, you can really see the European influence in those restaurants. We went to a relatively quick place, and they had cheese toasties and European sandwiches there, as well as that amazing goat stew,
Yep.
It certainly felt more European than American in that restaurant. That was pretty cool.
That was really neat. That's a really neat environment.
Another really popular thing to do in Bonaire is rent golf carts or 4x4s and go riding around the island.
Yeah, there's quite a bit to see. It's an island, so it's hard to get lost on, but you can go around and see all the different beaches and all on your own. One of the things to check out is the pink salt flats, and this is where they make sea salt out of these pink salt flats. It takes about a year and a half to make the sea salt in there. But what's unique about it is the water's pink because of the salinity. It's not making pink salt. It makes regular sea salt. But there's a ton of birds there. So if you're into birding, a lot of people will go there with a good pair of binoculars or spotting scopes and just check out all the birds out there. There's just a ton of birds around that area. So it's a fun thing to do if you're into that.
They also have salt pyramids there, where they take some of the ready-to-harvest salt and they put it in a pile getting ready for transportation. So they call them a salt pyramid.
Yeah, you can see those the island's so flat. You can see those for a long ways off right there. It's probably one of the tallest structures on the island.
The next island on this Dutch influence of the ABCs is Curacao. Curacao is probably most famous for having those Caribbean-colored canal houses right there on the waterfront. It is the same canal house you would see in Amsterdam, just painted beautiful Caribbean colors. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's pretty stunning to see. You can really see the Dutch influence right behind those canal houses. Just walking around how the streets laid out, it really reminded me of what I had seen in movies of Amsterdam. I hadn't been to Amsterdam or the Netherlands whenever I visited Curacao, and it really made me want to go. And after visiting Amsterdam, I can say that it is indeed, you can see that Dutch influence there. It's pretty cool, and I don't think I've seen so many Heineken ads in a Caribbean island before.
A Dutch influence. Your ship will dock right there in Williamstead, as Jennifer mentioned, and it's an easy walk into the old town. You go across there's the Queen Emma Bridge, which is quite unique drawbridge in that it doesn't go up and down. It goes off to the side when it opens up, and you can actually be on a bridge when it goes. It's kind of a fun ride to do if you happen to be there. It goes out and back, lets a ship through there. Cross that, and you're in the old town of Williamstad, where there's Fort Amsterdam, some cathedral, a lot of other that influence that a lot of that other architecture Jennifer was talking about right there. And we did a trolley tour through the cruise line on that. A little train trolley took us around, had a guide with a lot of narration, saw the architecture, what they all meant, went through the fort and the cathedral, and it was a lot of fun. I had a good time with that tour.
It was a lot of fun. We also saw just around the corner from Queen Emmy Bridge is the floating market. Now, we mentioned at the beginning of the video that Venezuela was 40 miles to the south. Different merchants come up from Venezuela and bring some food and vegetables, fish of the day. Another thing you probably know from Curacao that holds the same name is Blue Curacao, the liquor. It's an orange liqueur similar to Cointreau, Triple Sec, Grand Marnier. But it is made right there on the islands. They grow the specific oranges for that liqueur on the islands. And you can see and you know that liqueur is known for its vibrant blue color.
One great thing that Curacao has are beaches. It's just like the rest of the other ABC islands. Fantastic beaches there. We took a taxi over to Mambo Beach. It's a public beach, kind of like that. Again, has that European flair because a lot of chase lounges in there, music going and all that, kind of like Mykonos almost in this case. But it was a lot of fun. The surf is great. You go out there and kind of wade around in the water. Had drink service, some good restaurants right there, and just a lot of shops. If you felt the need to buy a T-shirt or something else, plenty of vendors to help you out buying whatever you needed to in those cases too. It was a lot of fun.
You know, we haven't really mentioned it before about the ABC Islands, but the water is unbelievably blue. It's almost turquoise.
Yeah, it is gorgeous water. Absolutely gorgeous water.
It's certainly a stronger blue than the baby blue you get in the Northern Caribbean, and it's not the deep blue of the Pacific. It is a very colorful turquoise blue out there. It is stunning to see. There are also some caves in Curacao. They have some stalactites, stalagmites, and a couple of them even have some ancient cave drawings there.
And like Bonaire and Aruba, the snorkeling is fantastic in Curacao. They have a lot of different places to go snorkeling, several different beaches. One of the more famous ones is Tugboat Beach, is where they scuttled a tugboat right off the shore. It's easy to go snorkel at. It's nice and shallow, so it's good snorkeling. And it scuttled long enough that the coral is really starting to build up on it and attract some of the other wildlife to it. So it's a really good snorkel to go check out. We encourage you to do that if you like snorkeling. So please check out our YouTube channel. We have a playlist just devoted to the Caribbean islands and destinations. And a couple of those that may be interesting are the best Caribbean islands, and another video, like we mentioned a while ago, the best snorkeling in the Caribbean, are two videos that may be useful for you. The ABC Islands are on both of those.
Thank you so much for watching. We hope you found this video interesting.
If you liked the video, please give us a like and subscribe and turn on those notifications. It really helps us out.
And until next time, have a cruising good time.